Great. This is a build-around submission for Rishkar Renegade here in Brawl. So Rishkar here says when it enters the battlefield, you get to put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 2 creatures. And then your creatures with 1/1 counters on them can tap for green mana. So basically what we wanted to do while building was make sure that I had a number of 1 mana and 2 mana creatures. So that way when we play this on turn 3, we can put counters on itself plus 1 other thing, which will allow us to be able to accelerate on turn 4 up to 5 or 6. So basically a double ramp spell on 3 if we have creatures to play ahead of it. So the deck is a bunch of Bomb Diggities at the top to ramp into with Rishkar. We've got just miscellaneous creatures and good green stuff and some planeswalkers mixed in. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games with this and see how it goes. Yeah, I've neglected to put 8 mana Ugin into these decks because 8 mana Ugin sucks shit in this format and just makes games uninteresting. So we're playing this format for fun. I'm skipping cards that just aren't fun. You're looking to optimize and min-max, play something else. When you gain a life, each opponent loses 1 life, sacrifice a creature, gets XO, where X is that creature's power. Cute. Incubation Druid is especially good with Rishkar because this taps for 3 when it has a counter on it, which is great. It's kind of funny in a way. I think every person I've seen on social media that's complained about this format, their complaint has been they've only played against the same 2 or 3 decks, listing off like Golos and Omnath and Winota. And it's like, oh, you're not having fun with the format because you're in the sweaty tryhard bracket because you're playing sweaty tryhard decks. It's not surprising to me that people that are playing tryhard decks are not having fun with this format. I see we didn't make it to the tryhard bracket with Rishkar. That's correct. Vivien belongs in the tryhard bracket. And honestly, so having played this format a little bit, I think it's definitely true that the tryhard bracket wasn't as big as it needed to be to start. And if this format will exist permanently, they'll be able to make the play experience better at every level once they get more accurate groupings of where things belong. Kane's Indignation, thanks for the tier 2 and for the 25 months. Welcome back. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Truth lies beyond vision.
Yep, yep, yep. Yeah, this is the power level based matchmaking is definitely something that will get better the more data that they have to power it with. Yeah, I think we keep most answers, like 2-drop into Rishkar. Did the Ooze flatulate? Yes. Look at that. It's a Johnny's primate that's a human. So I could do this, and then we could Blizzard Brawl these two. So we have 5 mana set up for next turn. If we draw a land, we can Ugin this one. Well, should have been more specific, Chip. They have a 2-mana removal spell for this I'm not thinking of. I'm gonna make a 3/3 here. Could be right to just gain life too, though. Giant Slayer is 3. They could have a plow, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and just like Druid plus Lotus Cobra here and try and stabilize the board. These also both develop my mana more for next turn. Morning, Logan. The attack with Hallowed Priest, I think we just like trade Gargaroth plus Beast Token for it. And then we'll be in a pretty good spot. Get to drop Baby Ugin. The game should mostly be over from there. You keep trying to mouse over the cards to read them. You should be able to. Is Untapped not loaded? It is? Okay, yeah. I'll say it should be working. Yeah, playing the Fairy Guide Mother out might have been a little too aggressive on their part. Uro, eh? Is Uro even that good of a commander? Because, like, every time you put it back to the command zone, you still have to, like, re-escape it, right? I guess it draws another card when it does, but... yeah, it seems just okay, right? Which Spider-Man are we playing this afternoon? I think it's the 2016 version. We had already done Miles Morales when that came out. I hadn't played the one that came before it. Miles Morales was really good, yep. Tome of Legend seems pretty good with Uro. Yes, we're probably going to do some cube next week. I think next week we're probably not going to do Modern every day, so we can fit in some cube drafts. Lotus Cobra tapping for mana and making a mana off the land is like pretty great.
Balance comes.
Yeah, Cavalier sounds good. So they've got 8 mana here. Vivien goes to 3.
Okay, so you've got claws.
8 mana, no plays.
To me.
What does that mean? Double Coke, obviously, something like that. It could be Sublime Epiphany. So I'll float mana with this. I'll let it come back to our hand. Oh, this doesn't make mana. I forgot to float mana with this. Awkward. This gets this up to a 3/4, so it can bounce off the cultivators at least here. So I don't get free eats on my Vivien. Well then. They might just kill my Planeswalker here. She's dead, Jim.
I'll be back, just like before.
So I have 5, 8 mana. It's a land or a spell. think it's a spell. Blast Endurace here. And I think we just pass holding up Blossoming Defense / Cycling. Probably the game if we don't find an answer here. Because this taps all my stuff, right? The games just go so quickly when they're best of one. I look back at some of our decks from yesterday and we played like 15 games with each of them in the hour and a half. It's a lot. I think we take a free mulligan on hands that don't have a 1 or a 2 drop before Rishkar. Yeah, this is good. This hand even goes Troll on 2 into Rishkar. And then this has a, well, read. But I prefer best of 3 commander. I don't know. I will say the fact that commanders give you insight into how to mulligan mitigates a lot of the issues that best of 1 Magic has. I think one of the biggest problems with best of 1 Magic as a best of 1 game is the inability to make good mulligan decisions game 1. Just these 2? Actually, it's these 2, right? Because I can cast this and this next turn. Hey, Pengut, thanks for the brand new sub. Welcome to the channel. I appreciate the support. System, thanks for re-upping the Prime. Welcome back. We got Commander back. Well, I've got some bad news for you. We had Commander back, we no longer do. Yeah, basically every digital game Mercadian Merchant has some kind of you can make intelligent mulliganing decisions game 1. Hex, Runeterra, Hearthstone, Mythgard, they basically all had something like that. Where they like gave you some bit of information that you could use to mulligan in a way that made sense. Oh, that was nice. Give us a little bit of ramp for this.
I came into secrets manifest before you.
Yeah, I agree with Megas. When Mythgard gets best of through his sideboards, I'll probably dip back into them on stream a little bit. Multi-deck formats just don't do it for me. Greatly prefer sideboards. Just kill this, right?
Great. So much for a new
I can
start.
create or destroy.
What does Mythgard do for Intelligent Mulligan? So, in Mythgard, when you're building a deck, you have what's called a path with the deck. And the path gives you some kind of added ability that your deck has access to, as well as adjusting your starting life total and giving you a bonus when you go second. Which, their path system is just super elegant because it lets you choose what kind of bonus you get for going second, as opposed to games like Hearthstone that just dictate, okay, this is what you get.
Ether itself serves me.
Because, like, the bonus an aggro deck would like for going second is different than the bonus like a control deck would like. Five-color Niv. We're winning more than we're losing, chat, so our matches are getting a little sweatier. I don't even know that you need... I don't think sideboards would be really relevant in this format because it's 100 card and there's so much variance anyways. But one thing I've talked about that I would probably play the crap out of is I would really like a best of one game 3 ladder on Arena. Would be a best of one regular constructed format I would like. Where like you queue up and you get to see your opponent's deck list for 60 seconds, you sideboard, and then you play one game with the sideboard. I think would be a sweet way to approach it. Because I don't, it would mitigate most of the things I dislike about best of one. Do I play around a sweeper next turn? You get to see, no, just their main deck. You get to see their 60 card, each player sees their opponent's main deck, and then you sideboard and play one game. I mean, I guess you could see full 75s if you wanted, but just some amount of deck list. See the deck list, sideboard, play one game. Are we carning or are we throwing a fatty into play? I could just be like, play Nullhide Ferox, attack for 7. Kind of like that. Let's just do that, actually. Oh, no land drop. Game's probably over. Oh, right. I can't do that. All right, we'll do this one because it plays around the sweeper a little bit. Six land would unlock all their mana here, so you guess like Wrath of God or anything like that. These are my green stompy dorks. This backside sacrifice is at instant speed, right? Okay, well that means they're not dead on board. Oh wait, they are, right? We do this, and then they die to these. This deck's kinda neat. It's like a aggressively slanted ramp. Yeah, I keep this on the draw. 2, 3, 4, curving right out the door. I vote. Thanks for the 25 months. Welcome back. Becker Axe, thanks for the 17. I think I almost missed that one. You're having a wonderful Friday. Yorian. They banished us to the prison realm, chat. Thankfully, this leaves the dork behind, so we still get to Rishkar on things. Oh, Green Gear Hulk's a good suggestion. We can add one of those in after this. I forgot about that one. Just like a decent 5 to ramp into, too. Please pass with counter magic up.
Well, this is nothing.
Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday. It's super weird to be that companions are legal in this format.
The wilds are my shield.
Faceless Haven actually sounds great. Explore resolves. Man, can you believe they banned this card, chat?
I've seen things that would break someone like you.
Be a little greedy and take the Yorvo here. Arrgh. Next turn we could go Yorvo into Questing Beast if we get a land. Well, shit. I guess we gotta kill this.
Sometimes restoration means retribution.
We did hit the land. Is that the only tapped land in my deck? Maybe there's a green desert too. It's a pretty peak magic there. Hey, Juggalos. Thanks for the sub gifties. I think we're just passing. I want to be able to double block in case they attack Vivien. Playing Dragon Hordes as a mana rock. A lot of bangers in here if they want to attack it and kill Cavalier. I'm celebrating the completion of my new deck, not the MTG deck, but one built of timber, composite boards, and brawn. Lumber ain't cheap right now.
No one knows the wilds like I do.
It ain't cheap, chat. So, what if we play Questing Beast, and then we Primal Surge here, and then we can attack with both of these? Prices are down in last month. That's good. Hopefully we'll see a lot of those types of things normalize in the coming months as we're heading out of the backside of COVID. Fingers crossed we're heading out of the backside of COVID. Get your vaccine if you're eligible, chat, and there's spots available for you wherever you live. Fopped or arrest, yep. But it's just like playing every Oblivion ring that exists. The housing market crash. I am definitely, as something of an economist myself, I have to wonder if we're heading towards another 08 style market crash with how crazy the prices are everywhere. Would not surprise me to see that happen.
My newest friend.
It just feels like it can't be sustainable, the prices people are paying and what things are being listed at. Green haste creatures, chat. The truly green ability. The price of our house increased 40% in a year. Yeah, ours hasn't been quite that crazy, but I had 3 friends that bought houses even in the cornfield town where I live, and like they all paid over asking in the last 6 months. Nice, merchant. What if they're gonna swap Thopter Arrest over to the Vorinclex? Take the free ramp. We've got 2 creature lands down here ready to go to work too. 1778ers, thanks for the 10 months of Prime. That's one of the great things about playing these monocolored EDH decks. You get to play a bunch of colorless lands and not feel bad about it. Vivien gets, they're dead here, right? Vivien shoots Yorion. And then I've got 2 creature lands to fire up. We're putting Gear Hulk in here before we forget. They get to bounce this, I suppose, but I think we're still good. Speaking of Cornfield Town, the cornfield behind my house is almost tall enough to tweet a good picture of it. It's a corn year, chat. Alright, what are we cutting for my Verdant Gear Hulk? We just cut a piece of bottom end? I think we're gonna cut a piece of bottom end. I like my bomb diggities. Knee high by the 4th of July, and it's a little bit higher than knee high already. You want to get rid of my Phalanx Intruder? Nah, she's great. Yeah, Karn's probably not very good. Sorry, Karn. Do they make corn mazes in the field? So there is a farm near us. If you're in the central Illinois area, Raider Farms is what it's called. And they have a corn maze, and they do things for kids to play on. They have giant corn silos that filled with corn that the kids can go in and play on and dig into with their feet and their hands. So we usually do that most years. Playing in a silo is terrifying. It's not that deep, TDM. It's designed to be safe for kids to play in. You went to Wesleyan, yep. Yep, it's one of our 2 colleges here. I grew up in the Chicagoland area on the south side. And then my wife and I moved down here when I started grad school. I went to grad school at Illinois State. Hey, thanks for the 24 months, Sandras. Welcome back. Alright, fingers crossed there's land on top of our deck, so we could go ahead and play Oracle here and get ramping. Where on the south side? Crete and Tinley Park. Yeah, I grew up, I lived in Alsip as a child, and then I lived in Blue Island during undergrad. Very, very familiar with Tinley Park, the Tinley Park area. I'm gonna scoos and then do this and put counters on them. Get some 3/3s. I'm sure I'm saying what I'm about to say looking through some rose-tinted glasses because I don't live there anymore. But the traffic never really bothered me all that much in the Chicagoland area. Outside of the winter when it was snowing, like, I never really mind driving on the expressway. And I say that as someone that commuted from Blue Island to Wilmette for work for a little while. Thragtusk, good against red aggro and EDH2, it turns out. Alright, chat. This is the most important match we'll probably play with this deck during this set. We are playing to assert the mono green dominance. Yeah, it would. I worked for a Fortune 50 company for a few years before I started doing what I do now. It would always make me chuckle when people I worked with there would complain about rush hour traffic in Bloomington where we live. It's like, you don't even know. Ratchet & Clank was really good. The final boss left a bit to be desired in terms of how bullet spongy he was, but overall the game was very good. That series/IP is well done overall. Alright, so we've got 5 mana. I think it's just Thragtusk again, right? There is not commander damage in this format. They haven't done the console patch yet, Bob. I think if they don't, I'll probably just do that after Spider-Man, if they still haven't done it. What is commander damage? In paper commander, if you take, is it 21 points of damage from your opponent's commander alone, you lose the game? O'Neilly is indestructible. That's a good thought. 21. Yeah, okay. Let's start here and try and draw a land. Nice. She does make our creatures cheaper, yeah?
The arc. Things are about to get out of hand for you.
To get like a questing beast and kill us? I think they're about to assert dominance as the best green deck, chat. Let's get some 4-drop for them. Yep. This doesn't give trample, right? It gives vigilance. Because why not? Okay. They can't kill anything on our board. This is indestructible. It's huge. Then we get to Ulamog next turn. Okay.
Days of new mutation.
Oh no. They're mousing like they have a fighty spell. Fighty spell would be real bad for us here. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Okay, so if we draw an untapped land here, we can Ulamog.
I love everything from deer to dinosaurs.
So I can kill their Yorvo here with Titanic Brawl plus Vivien plus Nylea? Is that the play? I guess, do I really need to do that though? If I have the indestructible creature? Probably not, right? Just gonna spread out some counters and pass here, I think. Try and turtle up so we can get to this next turn.
The hairier.
That's scarier. I can give it. Rats. Opponent had just enough disruption to get to their bomb first. Hoof daddies. We are confirmed to be the inferior mono green deck, chat. We hang our head in shame. 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 Does Vivien have a sideboard for Brawl? No, she only goes +1, -3. That's true, it is another mono green off. Really want to draw another 2 or 3 mana cards, so we can go Rishkar. I'm wearing my appropriate coalescence apparel for a mono green deck today. Attack you, opponent. Urgh. Cartouche of Strength. Oh, you know, I don't think I have that in this deck. Oh, it costs 3. Eh. It needs to be a sub sound. I despise when streams play a noise when people subscribe. It gets very old very fast. What were the cartoons of my childhood? The original Pokemon series. Yellow Hat is probably one of the people I watch make content the most on Twitch, and I cannot count the number of times I've ended up turning off his stream because he had too many subs in a row, and the music is just too much. Am I attacking here? It feels like they have something at instant speed. I think I'm gonna chill here. Just making a food. Raid. The Quiznos Mutant Hamster song. That one is kind of funny. So, do we just like Vivien?
Oh, I am gonna love tearing this.
And put counters on these, so that way this is big enough to fight this next turn. And I can give this reach. Wait, how did... Oh, Hydra's cost... I was like, how did they get this for 8? Hydra's cost 4 less? Yikes. I think we've died, chat. We are confirmed bad against other mono green decks, huh?
You're lower than worms.
Which I think that probably makes sense from a theory perspective, huh? Our deck to leverage Rishkar is being kind of built low to the ground. So being a little bit bigger, yeah, we're a little bit smaller than what they're doing on average. We felt pretty good against not mono green things. But being a little bit smaller in the mirror. It's fine. I think we play this Florahedron as land on one. I assume Rishkar is gonna eat it here. Wow, no interaction? They have a sweeper? They have a 2-1. Chat, play more lands and more removal on your EDH decks, chat. Play more lands and interaction.
The wild wasn't meant to be contained.
So I know they get to draw a card here, but I wanna put them off of having a mana if we can.
You can't stop nature.
Yes, I am planning to cube next week. Next week we're gonna do a whole bunch of formats. We're gonna do cube, we're gonna do modern, we're gonna do standard, we're gonna do historic. We're just gonna kinda spread it out and do a little bit of everything. Modern's still good, but I'm like running out of other new decks I'm interested in trying, so I think I'm probably gonna dial modern back to about 3 days a week next week. The popularity of the modern videos has also fallen off a little bit on YouTube compared to the arena content. That probably makes sense to... I should have mulliganed this. Just talking at the same time. Alright, never mind. We have a 2-drop. It's fine. I haven't played the Monkey Blade decks, but they also just don't seem particularly interesting. Just like mopey pile of fair cards. The Monkey Blade decks don't do the things that I play non-rotating formats to do. Like, I just can't get excited about this, like okay cards on rate, basically. Reid. The old Field of the Dead. Triple blue, triple red Niv. It's just, that's definitely a deck building decision on our opponent's part.
See what you got. If I could just distill lightning into a potion, it'd never sell. I'll be back.
Help pay for the commander tax once they cast it, sure. Yeah, stroke me, Danny. But it is only one land away from triggering Field of the Dead here. Yikes. Okay, so... Huh. So I can play this as a 6-power thing. I still don't have lethal next turn then, though. Oh, I guess with Oasis I might, huh? Yeah, thanks for the follow, Geek. Good morning. This fight here, attack for 5. They find a blue or red land, they can play Niv next turn, but that's not even that good, right? I guess it gives them a blocker too. Well? Opponent's mana has been rough this game. Okay.
To you. There is wonder in a blade of grass.
I can hold on to this because Vivien, baby Viv, gives my stuff flash. It's a real shame this card only ever existed in Standard while Teferi Time Raveler was legal. Just doing this.
You can still walk away.
So I have to block both of these. go. They have plenty of mana to recast Niv. Am I... Now making a 1/1 doesn't really do anything, right? Let's go dig in here.
I've seen
Nice!
wine worse
Alright,
than
well. It's just this one, right? They're dead on board, but they have 2 mana up, and they can have like a lightning strike or a bolt or something, so the Ceratops should definitely put it away though. Yeah, I agree, math teacher. Time Raveler. Time Raveler definitely unraveled a part of Magic that was enjoyable. Attack you, opponent. Brrr. Do you play Muldrotha? Yeah, there's a Muldrotha video from yesterday up on YouTube. I think with Stonecoil here, I want a Florahedron on one as a land. The 3rd land. Nah, I think we do this with 2 triple green cards. Any 2-drop. Kinda, not really. Not being able to play on curve here is a big deal.
The folk will keep an open mind.
I think it's old growth true, because it ramps if it dies.
With thoughtfulness before action.
Do I want to pressure them, or do I just want to ram through? How does Fires of Invention interact with commander spells? Do they get to just pay the... Do they have to pay only the commander tax? How does that work? Just the commander tax. That's really stupid. Just get all of these out of God Eternal range here.
I have reached my limit.
Hour of Devastation. Brutal. Alright, that'll do big. Fires of Invention, still a fucked up card. Use an 11. Ooh, man, that was gross. Playing, what, 18 mana worth of cards between turns 4 and 5. Pretty good. I feel like this isn't good enough. I take my free mulligan. Yeah, this is a bit better. Just for the Fallen Vicarious. Yeah, honestly, I completely agree with that, Cubby Pizza. I think ideally this format just shouldn't have a ban list, and you just manage the format via, okay, you play these cards, you're in the sweaty bracket. That's not fair. My opponent cast Rishkar on turn 3 and we didn't. We're the Rishkar deck opponent. We're just too far behind. This is why you should always play extra lands, chat. Stumbling is way more detrimental than flooding. You lose way more games to not having enough lands than you will to having too many. Thanks for the follow, Alex. Good morning. Golos! Alright, let's see how this goes. We might be aggressive enough with some of our draws that this is fine. This is another hand that desperately needs a third mana source, but if we find it, it's very good. Nice, sweet.
Just the trick for this.
It's just Vivien.
Paradise. We will adapt to any threat.
Attack you, Narset.
I shall miss your company.
They keep their board small. The time warp won't matter. Yes, yeah, anything that has a counter on it taps for mana. These tap for mana, so it's got the little tappy symbol there. So we'll down tick Vivien here, and we'll cast this to fish up Reclamation Sage.
Savagery loves company.
Kill Golos. You have a sweeper? Even if they have a sweeper, we're still in a pretty decent spot, huh? So you got Shifty Boy plus make a Vivien token to follow up with. I think after playing this format more, Lucos, I think a lot of the decks in this format are more competitive against Golos than I originally gave them credit for. Especially decks like this that have kind of an aggressive slant to them. I have 8 mana total here. because it's only elves, right? And then this actually taps for mana to give this trample. I think they're dead, right? Yep, sweet. Didn't even need the trample. Noise, attack you. Arrgh. Try and get one more in here with our Rishkar. Get one more good Rishkar beats game in, and then we'll swap over to some snap decks for our last commander deck. Easy mulligan here. Is it actually? This is a land, right? Huh. It seems actually a keep with that being a land. Yay, modal cards. Dear Wizards of the Coast, if modal land spell cards aren't evergreen and standard from here on out, you're making a huge mistake. Really, really, really hope that at least once per year we start seeing designs like these. I agree that pathways are also great, and I would not mind if they were the new evergreen dual lands. No, I've already played Miles Morales. We're playing the one before that. I hadn't. Miles Morales was one of the first games I played with my PS5, but I haven't played the original.
Let's tear this place apart. No one knows the wilds like I do.
Those mana bases suck, Chucky. Filter lands are god-awful. They're just miserable to play with. I also, speaking as someone who's experienced filter lands on Magic Online, filter lands really suck on digital products. So, like, please no. So we fight this, and then these two kill Vivien. Anti-Trumpet, thank you for the 39 months. Welcome back. What's a filter land and why is it bad? It just makes clunky. It makes tapping your mana really clunky. Firelit Thicket. An example of a filter land. Triple that damage. You disagree that filter lands are clunky? Can you explain to me how a filter land is anywhere near as elegant as a normal duel? It's a design they don't do anymore because it's super awkward and it's extra terrible and extra awkward on a digital environment. Listen, chat, I spent years registering Firelit Thicket and Kiki Court, okay? You can play Team Oko and Yarrick Field in the F&M Arena event today. Sure, you technically can. You'll also die with them. So they block here. They take 6, 10, 13 dead. They have like a bolt or a shock here. You disagree with the suck? I agree they had extra step for mana. But such is life with playing the extra color. I mean, it's not life with playing the extra color because your normal dual lands don't add that extra step to it. It adds... The filter lands add needless complexity, and they give you lots of extra room to hurt yourself by making small mistakes for relatively little upside. So the upside that they create compared to other dual lands is very minimal, and the downsides that they have are very high. And from a player experience standpoint, the binds they let you put yourself into from not being super careful, yeah, they feel bad, right? And like in a format, especially a standard format where you don't have a lot of different duels at the same time, the fact that 2 Firelit Thickets together don't make any colors of mana is absolute garbage. Like, I never even played with them when they were standard legal. I've only experienced them in modern, but I have to imagine standard was especially atrocious when those were the dual lands. Although I guess when those were standard legal, you had like vivid lands and stuff, right? So it was probably okay there because of that. Maybe. I feel very rewarded when I sequence on a turn that uses... I agree. If you're someone that wants to feel extra smart because you manage to not... If managing to not stub your toe as you walk through a doorway makes you feel smart, you'll feel incredibly smart playing with filter lands. Is like the TLDR. Is that like... It actually aren't that interesting or rewarding or skillful, but they give you a chance to fuck yourself. And if you manage to not fuck yourself and that feels rewarding to you, like, I guess that to each their own, like. Anywho, honestly, between playing this deck and playing the Kranko deck yesterday, I really hope that they leave this as a format that's always on, because I actually think the pool of decks that are competitive in this format is actually bigger than the Golos, Omnath, Winota stuff that's implied at the top. I feel like a lot of these slightly aggressively slanted commanders are actually super reasonable in this format, because there's a lot of people that are just not playing on curve, and they're not putting enough lands in their deck, and they're not playing enough removal spells, and just like going creature, and guaranteeing my 3-drop and just mulliganing for 1s and 2s is really good. So, yeah. There's real decisions like casting cantrips and stuff. Kinda